how do you feel about you playing now compared to pre-Ridley Academy?
I can play by myself now, and I can play basically anything. And that's just really something I'm happy with. Because now I can do whatever I want,
That's
basically.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
There's a house we built.
Hello!
Hello,
Hello. Right, let me see if I can remember this right. Am I saying Tane?
Tijn.
Tane. Well, thank you for being here.
Of course.
I'm happy you're doing it. You're the first person in Ridley Academy I've ever interviewed. So
Ooh.
it's my first time, and I'm happy to be doing this together. Let's jump into this. So, Tyne, could you please introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background with music and piano?
So my name is Tijn-Pieter. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm currently 19 years old. And I've played music for quite a long time. I started with keyboard lessons when I was around 4-ish, because my brother also had a keyboard lessons, and I was like, I also want to do that. But I didn't like the way that the lessons were done. So like I had to play this and I had to play that. So I think I did that for about a year, and then I got bored of it and I stopped. But we still had the keyboard, so I still every once in a while I just do something myself. I learn myself something. Um, but I didn't really do a lot for those years. Same with guitar. I started playing guitar, but then the same problem occurred that my teacher wanted me to play this and that, and then that just didn't work for me. And then when I got to high school, in the last years of my high school, I got music class at school, and I really enjoyed that. And that was also about the time when I started with the piano master class, and that really helped me. And now with the mentorship, it's gotten even better. Let's just keep it at that.
Well, I'm interested in that because I had a similar experience to you. Also had lessons, also was made to play things I really didn't want to play. Also quit, by the way. So let me ask you, so what originally brought you to the piano masterclass, and then what brought you to the mentorship program?
Um, well, the um, when I was at school, I didn't like school. That let's just say keep it simple like that. And my math class and music class were the only things at school that I enjoyed. So my mom was like, Why don't you do something with that?" And like math, sure, you can do something with that, but music is way easier to do something with at home. So we got to Googling, and it was, well, I say there are no accidents, but by accident we found your masterclass. And that was like, okay, we can do that. And I made the agreement with my parents. Okay, they would pay for it if I would give it my all. And that's what I did. And then, well, that was a few years ago. And then when I heard of the mentorship, I was done with school, basically. I was having a lot of free time. So, and we got to the same agreement, like you can get the mentorship if you get everything and then you give it your all, and you become even better at this music thing.
That's amazing. And wow. Okay, so let me ask you this. Before joining, what would you say were your biggest struggles in music?
Well, before I joined Ridley Academy, I had no idea about scales, for example. So, like I knew major and minor chords. I knew the 1, 3, 5 for both major and minor, and that was it. But I also like I didn't know inversion, so if I was playing a song, I Googled the chords, and I was jumping from here to there and back instead of just keeping it simple. And that it made me like, oh, this is hard, and then I just didn't do it basically. Um, and then when I joined the master class, I learned the scales, I learned everything with it. That made things a lot easier to play. I did struggle quite a while with the scales because I found it really, really boring. Uh, and then I was like, okay, well, it's boring, but I got it. I got it. I got this. I'll just move on. And then later I was like, yeah, I don't got this, so I gotta I gotta go back. Um, so that was a little hiccup. But that made things a lot better. And then I got with the mentorship, and then my mentor, he gave me some scales. The first exercises were scales exercises, and I was like, dude, I know the scales now. Um, but even then, it really actually helped a lot more than I thought, because by playing by doing those specific exercises with the scales, it really helped me to for example, start improvising. I could not improvise at all, and now well, it's not. My mom says it's great. I still think meh. But now I got the ability to sit here, press a few keys, and then it sounds pretty okay.
That's the most humble way of saying it. Um, well, okay, so let me ask you this. How you touched there on scales, and I mean, you know me, I'm like the world's biggest lover of them, because exactly like you said, this is how you improvise, it's how you can make up music. It's like all music is based on the notes contained in scales, and if you don't know those notes, it's kind of really hard to go somewhere.
Hmm.
Um, uh, how do you look at piano differently now to how you looked at it before?
Before, I just, when I wanted to learn a song, I Googled the song, and I usually did with chords. But for example, I also learned the the easy part of Für Elise by myself. And the way I did that is we had a keyboard with Für Elise built in, and it showed on the little display what notes it pressed. So I put that to like 10% speed, and then I clicked on the button, and then I looked, oh, it's those keys, and then I pressed those keys, and then like that, and took a couple weeks, and then I could play that part of Für Elise. Um, while now it's when I learn something, I still go for chords. I still listen to some tutorials sometimes, but I've found out that a lot of the things now, because I know the scales and because my ear training has improved, I can do a lot by ear while just playing the chords, and I just improvise the melody over it, and it's the right melody basically.
Beautiful, beautiful. Have you had any in this journey in Ridley Academy so far? Have you had breakthrough moments, and if so, would you mind sharing them?
Yeah, well, that was actually with a few of the scales exercises that I also mentioned before, where it's just it after practicing for a couple days, even though it was boring, something clicked, and then it was like, oh, wait, it's like this, and then I just and it went all easy peasy, and then click, and after that it was cool.
Um, when you were doing A Million Dreams, you were the first person. I was reviewing all these different people. You were the first person who I'd seen in the mentorship. I mean, this was like really, really just after it launched,
Mhm.
and you were doing really clever things with rhythm. Is that something, had you always had like a great sense of rhythm, or is that something that you kind of improved upon, or
I have always had a pretty good sense of rhythm. And it's just I learned that song because we had to do something for school as well, and I learned it for that, and it had to show the progress through what we've learned. And I basically had learned to not really care about what others think. I follow my own dreams. So it was a great song, and I basically put the feeling of the how to go through that into the song, and then the rhythm changes came almost automatically because the way I felt with it.
Perfect. Perfect. The magic is happening when you stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. It was amazing to watch that. I remember watching your performance of that, and I'd watched maybe 15 different performances before, and every one was different to the last, different to the last, different to the last. It was real. It was really. You could really feel that. You could really feel like, wow, this is you were expressing yourself, and the music felt like you, and it sounded like you, even though it's such a famous song. It was really, really moving, and yeah, that was brilliant. And that's like 6 months ago now, which is
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, which is kind of nuts. Um, Let me ask you this: how has it been working with a personal coach? How has that changed the way that you learn?
It's been really, really nice. I still have the part where I sometimes, if I struggle with something, I start procrastinating it. I still do that. That's just a me thing, maybe just a human thing. But it's really interesting or it's really helpful to have a coach that can help you on the specific parts that you do, and both the one-on-one videos that he sends, but also the weekly Zoom calls that we have.
Mm.
So for example, last week we had in the Zoom call, we talked about how do you make a medley. So how do you go inside one song, go to the next song with the key change? That's just something I was interested in because that's what I wanted to learn, and it really helps to have someone who knows what they're talking about help you with the things that you want to know.
That's fantastic. Um, do you find it useful having that constant feedback?
Yeah, I like the feedback because, like, if it gives me the parts where which goes well, which are the parts I can need more practice at, basically.
Mm.
So I can focus on those, and then I can go to the next step and the next step. So it does help, and it also helps my motivation. First,
Beau- Beautiful. Um, this is a question I'm just interested in because it's lovely for me to hear all this. But what's been your favorite part of the program so far?
my favorite part of I think the weekly Zoom calls. I really enjoy the Zoom calls with all the people that I now, well, some of them I've now known for a couple months, and it's really nice to see how at first there were Zoom calls with uh, mentor was just answering all the questions, and now it's basically just a Zoom call where everyone is just an equal. We help each other instead of only the mentor answering the questions, and it's just it feels like we're a group now, and that's something I really like.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I saw a recording of one of the group sessions a couple of weeks ago. Um, I watched them to just double check that everything's going good, and I saw this beautiful moment. Exactly what you said. There was like somebody asked a question and somebody like butted in before the coach would answer. It's like, oh yeah, no, I figured this out, and it's the coolest thing. Because I never had that when I was going on piano. It was always this very solo journey, and I was like, wow, that's like that's an unexpected thing that's kind of occurred to it. Um, well, that's beautiful. How do you like these the Zoom sessions that I do with you guys? How are they for you?
They're really fun. I just enjoy uh well, I enjoy watching you talk just because you're such an expressive person. I love that. And also with again with the questions, one thing that really helps with those questions, if someone else asks a question, you also learn from that, and that's also something I enjoy about the weekly Zoom calls, but also especially about the Zoom calls with you, because there's more people, more questions, sometimes more specific questions about certain areas. That's just really really good learning material.
Beautiful. Thank you. Um, so we have these monthly challenges, and people watching this might not know this, but um, so in the mentorship, we do some exclusive song tutorials, and at the end of that, there's a challenge, and then everybody submits their challenge, and then we pick a winner. And well, you were a winner, and with the Million Dreams song. And I was watching this. Just you don't know this story, but I'll tell you. I was watching this. Basically, what I do is I invite all the Ridley Academy people around. We get pizza. I'm sitting there. We're watching all the different submissions. It's really cool because we get to like enjoy our work a little bit. And so I had everything on. Then when your song came on, I just remember the room, which was already pretty quiet, going silent. And my girlfriend was in the kitchen, and then she kind of walked in the room like this, and I was like, "Whoa!" It felt like those moments where you watch X Factor, and then and there's this moment. How are those challenges for you, and how have the challenges helped with your learning? Like, what do you get out of that? And can you tell me a little bit about that experience from your side?
Well, the challenges, I really like the challenges because well, I'm a person, I've already said I procrastinate, so like a deadline really helps me to get something done. And the way that they're set up, both for beginners to be able to do something beautiful, and also for the more advanced people to do uh, add more. That's something I really really like, and it helps me because the last one for what a wonderful world was it really helped me to change a song, and that's something I really enjoy. Like all the challenges so far have been pretty different. Um, the first one was just play a song. That's the one that I won. But the rest, they're so how do you make a song your own? How do you change a song to make it what you want to be? And that's something I really really enjoy. And the way that you uh, make the videos to your process really help with that.
Beautiful. Um, what is a skill that you've learned that you're most proud of? I can see that you're very hard on yourself sometimes, but to just to give yourself a pat on the back, what's the skill that you've learned that you're most proud of?
Well, it's a combination of things. It's not specifically something I learned with the masterclass or the mentorship, but because I learned to I learned to play better, basically. I also started playing for other people, and that's something I didn't do. So now, for example, I've played at school when there's just a piano in the room. I'm bored. I'm gonna sit in the piano and I'm gonna play something, and then people are like, "Wait, you can play piano?" And then I do a song in which I sing, and then they're like, "Wait, you can also sing?" And
That's
uh,
amazing.
but also at the here in the Netherlands at the train stations, there's sometimes pianos. When I have to wait like 20 minutes, I sometimes just sit there and then go wild. And I never did that before because I always thought I wasn't good enough at the piano to sit there to play. And now I do that whenever I have time, and that's something I'm really proud of myself for.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. And well, that makes me very happy. I had a goal when I was making this. I sat on a wall some years ago now with my friend Ollie, and I'd had this idea of like, oh, I want to make this big music school, and I was going around the world and I was playing a lot of shows, and I still do, sit in train stations. In Paris the other day, they've got a huge piano in their train station, and I was playing that. Um, and I sat on a wall with Ollie, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if like everybody would be able to do that? And I've been to see my mum in Yorkshire, and I was like, wow, like what would her album sound like? She's been a nurse her whole life, and I'm like, man, you must have some incredible stories like in a hospital ward. And imagine what that album would sound like. I've never heard like an album from a nurse. That would be like really cool. And then I kind of looked around the street and suddenly I looked at everyone. I was like, oh wow, like what would it be like if you could hear everybody's music? And I had this really big epiphany that no matter what I would do as an individual artist, it would be like exponentially bigger if there was all these other people in the world and they went out and played, and then each of those people would like bring a bit of beauty into the environment. I'm like, wow, that would really make a beautiful world much more than anything I could accomplish as an individual. And that was the whole idea. And then to sit here, something like 5 years later, and be talking with you and hearing that you've been out and in the Netherlands, there's a guy playing for people. It's a wonderful thing. Um, that's awesome. Um, how do you feel about your playing now compared to where you started? I know you've touched on that a little bit. Um, how do you feel about you playing now compared to pre-Ridley Academy?
Um, it's improved like 100-fold. I can now just pick a song and just go with it. I still need to do the chords, but even sometimes when I don't have my phone with me or it's flat battery or something and I still want to play something, I just find the chords myself. So I can play by myself now, and I can play basically anything. And that's just really something I'm happy with. Because now I can do whatever I want,
That's
basically.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If someone's thinking about joining the mentorship program and they're not sure, what do you say to them?
Well, it's a really great experience. The group bonding that I already told about, and the way that you get the mentor with you that helps you along the path, whether you're at the very start or whether you're already on your way to becoming a pianist. Uh, they always know where you are. They know how to help you. And well, it's just been a really great experience so far.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Um, what is next for you after the program? Do you see like music in the future, or how would you like to take music into the rest of your life?
That is a really good question. It's something I really haven't thought about a lot, but I think I wanna just share the music with the world. So like how I already do now when I'm on a train station and I just sit there and play. But also maybe I'll start giving shows eventually. Like I still got the years to think of something, and
Absolutely.
I wanna share this with the world because music is like the number one language I believe.
It is the one that everybody speaks.
Yeah.
It's that's amazing. The next challenge that we're gonna do, by the way, I recorded that yesterday, in this insane room that I found myself in today. Um, I recorded that yesterday, and you're gonna absolutely love it because, well, I'll give you the punchline, but the challenge is going to be sharing it with the world. And I can already tell there's gonna be a lot of like, oh my god, the what? Um, yeah, that's amazing. Um, okay, so then final question: is there anything else that you wanted to share, that you haven't already?
No, no, not really. I think I covered basically everything that I wanted to say.
Super. Well, thank you very much. Where can people follow your musical journey if they want to follow you?
Well, currently I don't really have any social media,
Oh,
so
okay.
uh, maybe in the future.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, lovely. Um, thank you very, very, very much, dude. You've made my day today. I really it's really beautiful, honestly, and I'm gonna share this with everybody, and it's just lovely. You're an amazing, amazing guy, and I've personally just loved seeing your progress. And from when you came in, the challenge song which you won with, and then each of your submissions since then, the musicality and the amount of you in each song, like you were saying earlier, like your ability to put yourself into a song and make it your own, that is coming. Like the difference is astronomical, and it's just such a pleasure to be part of that. And so thank you for having me in your life, and thank you for being in mine.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for this opportunity, and for all the help that you've given me with the piano.
Pleasure. Thank you. All right. Well, we'll see each other very soon.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my home. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we decide. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our mind. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to the world that we decide. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.